Have you ever had to learn a life lesson the hard way? And when I mean the hard way, I mean the expensive way. Maybe you were going just a little too fast and you got pulled over and got a speeding ticket. Or maybe you didn't quite keep tabs on how much oil was in your engine and it went bone dry and blew up. Or perhaps you sold a stock that, you thought was at the bottom, but now it's worth 10 times its value. I think we've all learned some expensive lessons in our life, and I'm certainly no exception to that as well. In fact, one of my most expensive life lessons cost me $10,000. You see, every year at the end of November, beginning of December, there is a local radio station that holds this radio contest, and it's called the Jingle Bell Rock. And it's kind of like a treasure hunt. And what they do is they hide a rock. And you might think a rock, yes, it's like this, 20 by 20, maybe 4-inch thick slate type of rock. I'll put a picture up. And they place it somewhere in Clark County, and they give out clues every day. They'll give around 4 or 5 clues a day, and you go and hunt the rock. And so they drop the rock about 2 weeks after they start reading the clues, and they drop it in the middle of the night around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., because they don't want to be caught by players who might be scouting out their locations. Yes, this is a very serious game that goes on here every single year. So this contest is right up my alley. Like, I love everything about this. I love not only trying to figure out the clues, I like trying to outsmart all the players, and I just have a really great time. So I'm thinking not only about how excited I am that it's coming up again, but also about like how many actual life lessons I've learned by playing this game. So that's what we're going to talk about today. 5 life lessons I have learned from playing a game. And let's go ahead and start with number 1. The first life lesson is you got to know the rules. So the first year playing the game, I kind of really didn't know what I was doing. I found a spot based upon the clues that I thought was good. So I'm sitting there camping out like at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning in this park in Las Vegas and waiting for this radio station to drop this rock. And come to find out in that first year, might have been nice to actually go to the radio station's website and look up the rules of the game. Right there in the rules, it indicates not first, it's going to be in a public place. Well, let's define what the heck is a public place. It means no city parks, no state parks, no parks that had any entry fee, no parks that opened or closed at certain hours. They would have to be available 24 hours a day. Basically, we're looking at Bureau of Land Management places. Additionally, I also read that it would be accessible to everyone. And so anybody with like a physical limitations, disability, that they could easily access. So it's not going to be too far off of a road. I didn't know that. And I had been wasting all my time sitting at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night at this park where it was impossible to be. So I didn't know the rules of the game. And that really hindered and gave me a disadvantage to those people that do. So what rules of the game of life do we need to know? Well, when you're a kid, you follow the rules of your parents. So you know what time we got up, what time we went to bed, brushing our teeth, everything like that. Our rules were laid out for us. And I think that as we get older and we become adults, we kind of lose that because I don't believe most people actually establish rules for themselves. And some people will say, I do have a rule set. I go by the 10 Commandments and things like that. Fantastic. That's a great start, but I just don't think it's quite specific enough. And I know I've spoken on this channel in previous episodes about like the rules I created for myself as how I was going to conduct myself as a married woman, things of that nature. The more specific you can get in creating rules for how you're going to operate in your life, the better your life is going to be. I'm just dropping in to ask if you are one of those people who've had that expensive life lesson in the form of a speeding ticket. If you have, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, then just hit the like. All right, now back to the episode. Lesson number 2 is nobody knows what they're doing either. There's a website that a guy has created for this specific contest, and it's not affiliated with the radio station at all. He just really loves the game. And within that website, there is a chat. There are people on that chat that are genuinely trying to help because for one reason or another, they can't play the game themselves, whether it's because they're not located locally, they have to work and they don't have the time, or they don't have the gas money to participate, because it is a lot of driving. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people on this website who generally are trying to help people decipher these clues. Conversely, there's also people on there that will inherently and intentionally try to divert you away from potential areas, or claim that, oh no, the rock's hidden in this spot, when they actually are thinking that it's hidden somewhere else. And they're all spitballing ideas of where they think that the rock could possibly be. And some people are adamant, like they know. They're like, I have the place, it is mine. And other people are like, well, I'm not sure, it could be this or it could be that. And we kind of get this idea that everyone has things figured out. See, the fact is, nobody really knows what's going on in life. Like, that's one thing you learn as an adult. When you're a kid, you see your parents and you think that they're so smart and they have everything figured out. And maybe you need that illusion, because otherwise, you couldn't be confident in them. And then you grow up and become an adult and have your own kids, and you realize, oh my gosh, nobody has anything figured out. So listen, we're all just trying to figure out this game of life. Gather in the information, use what works, get rid of what doesn't, and realize that you are just as capable of figuring out the game of life as everyone else. Lesson number 3 is that it only takes one. It only takes one clue. It only takes one changing of your mindset. It only takes one breaking of habit. It only takes one reestablishing a new habit. It only takes one decision. It only takes one. So this lesson came just last year, 2023. I was in 6 years now. Now I'm thinking at this point, I have a pretty good experience behind my belt. I have a good feel of the clue writer and what the clues tend to mean. But sometimes they're very much like horoscopes, because everything fits. Like, you could have a clue about a bird and you don't know if it's literally a bird, or if it's talking about flying, or if it's talking about a street name, or the name of a specific general area, or if it's just a reference to something else. Like, literally, these clues can mean anything. So I'm looking on Google Earth, and I am trying to focus on street names and things around areas of BLM. I'm looking at the Google Earth and I see a street that had a boot in its name. And I remember thinking to myself, it can't be this easy. I'm going to go look in this other area, because almost every single clue matches this other area. And come to find out, guess where it was at? Is in that area where I thought, can't be that easy. Sometimes it's that easy. So at that point, I had like 50 clues at least 10 days in, 5 clues a day. Only one of them pointed to the area that the rock was actually located. That I mean, maybe there was more than one clue, but it would only take that one clue. But I dismissed it. I didn't think it could be that easy. So I think we try to overcomplicate life sometimes. I think this is sometimes why these New Year's resolutions go awry. We make these big grand plans instead of just trying to change one little thing at a time. So I like implementing the one small change, the one small decision, the one small habit, because that's going to get you much farther, because it's more sustainable. Today's episode is sponsored by Cup Cozy Critters. Did you know that cup holders do not have to be boring? You got it. Here we have our little kitty here. These holes are stretchable. They fit just about anything. I love it when you don't have to have your water bottle roll out in the middle of the night. They can put their cell phone right here. Cookies, snacks, milk, electronics, whatever you want will fit right here in the Cup Cozy Critter. Use it on the couch, in the bed, when you travel. You have all your snacks by you. Listen, we have the holidays coming up. Get that special kid in your life a Cup Cozy Critter, and they will be so happy. All right, and back to the episode. Lesson number 4, and this is the lesson that cost me $10,000, is do not get distracted. So this was about 3 years ago. My husband had just came home and it was already kind of getting dark, and I had told him, I have to go right now. They just dropped a clue. I know where it's at. So he says, oh, well, why don't you just wait till the morning? You can drop the kids off at school and then you can go after that. And I was like, no, I can't wait. If I wait till the morning, it's going to be gone. It's going to be found. This clue is too specific. I got to go. So this is about a 45, 50-minute drive for me, because it's all the way out in Boulder City. If you don't know, Clark County is absolutely huge. It's probably like the size of some small states. But so I have to drive 45, 50 minutes. I have my jacket. I have my personal safety device because it's getting dark. I have my flashlight. I'm like ready to go. I got my water. I don't know how long I'm going to be out there. And I'm slow rolling down this kind of like dirtish road and, just like trying to look for this rock. And I all of a sudden noticed lights in the back of my window, and it's the Boulder City Police Department. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I pull over and he tells me, he goes, I got a suspicious call. So here's, the man on this side, the female cop on this side, and I'm trying to explain why I'm like slow rolling down this dirt road. I don't even know what time it is at that time, but it was pitch dark. It was really late, and there's no one around. So he pulls my registration and everything. He's like, okay, fine, good luck, whatever. Well, for some reason, I decided after getting pulled over that I would, instead of continuing on this path, that I would turn around and go the other direction. That was my $10,000 mistake, because it wasn't much more than like maybe 20 yards ahead of me where they found the rock that morning, just like I said. And I am so mad at myself. I'm so mad at myself for letting the Boulder City Police Department, shame, distract me. I don't blame them. I blame myself for distracting me of my goal. So what are your life distractions that are preventing you from keeping yourself on the path to your goals? What are the things that you need to just completely ignore and trust your gut and keep on your path that you need to go in order to win the prize in your life? And the final lesson number 5, is to keep playing the game. So it's been 7 years now that I've been playing this game, and every year I tell myself, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win this rock. And I do this for 2 reasons. First of all, I do it because I really like it. I'm pumping myself up. I'm getting myself excited. I also very much know about the power of your spoken words and intentionality. And despite failing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row, despite every single year coming in with this level of enthusiasm and this level of optimism, I don't let the fact that I haven't found the rock distract me from the fact that the game itself is a fun game to play. The prize isn't the only prize. The prize is also the experience. The prize is the adventure. The prize is learning something new and discovering new places and having more information for the next year. So am I going to stop playing the game? No, I'm not going to stop playing the game. It's too much fun. And think about it. Without losing 7 times, I wouldn't have this episode to tell you all about all my losses. So in this game of life that you're playing, maybe you have your own personal prize you're seeking. Maybe you want a new house or a new car, or to send your kids to a better school, or whatever outward prize you are working so hard towards. I want you to also remember that there are many prizes along the way. There are prizes such as life experience. There's prizes such as wisdom. And all of these things that you have gone through in their past all lead you to be better prepared for the next game. Don't get discouraged. Keep playing the game. And maybe this will be your year to win the big prize. And with that, I'll see you next time.